Hello everyone, and welcome to my Iconic Goodbyes channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tracy announces her wedding to a concerned Jack. Tracy startled Diane and Jack at the Genoa City Athletic Club by announcing that she and Alan were getting married. She wanted to borrow the business plane so they could marry in Paris. Tracy picked up on Jack's concern. Tracy claimed Paris was the most romantic city in the world. Who doesn't want to marry in Paris? Diana inquired. Jack believed it was being hurried. Tracy claims Alan is eager to sweep her away. It's impulsive, Jack claims. After all, Alan only proposed a few hours earlier. Tracy informed Jack and Diane that Alan had fled due to security concerns. Tracy gently informed Jack that he was being overly emotional. Jack commented that he had never seen Tracy so joyful. Why the sudden concern? Tracy wondered. She told Jack that Alan didn't steal her heart, she gave it to him. Jack feared Tracy might marry Alan without her family. Tracy responds, "No, that will not happen." Alan had no relatives and wanted all of the Abbotts there. Tracy hoped Jack would lead her down the aisle. Diane speculated that Tracy probably didn't want to discuss her ex-husbands after Jack mentioned their late father, John, leading her down the aisle at previous marriages. Tracy claimed Jack reminded her of John. Kyle then arrived, and Diane questioned if Phyllis had staged her own kidnapping, given that she had done it previously. Kyle informed them that Phyllis and Sharon were okay after their incident. Tracy, ironically, expressed her hope that they would catch whoever was guilty, not knowing Alan was behind the kidnapping. Tracy highlighted how little she understood about Alan's alarms and breaches. She mentioned the clinic. That's a coincidence, Kyle added, recalling Summer saying something about Phyllis and Sharon being kept at a clinic. The possibility that Alan was tied to the clinic was discounted, and further discussion of the wedding ensued. Perhaps Harrison could be the ring bearer? Diane recommended remodeling to the Newman family, but Jack was hesitant to make changes. Alan interrupts the joyful supper with a call. Kyle observed that Tracy had dedicated her heart to the family. Diane stated that they will have to share that heart with Alan. Tracy informed them that Alan called from the airport. He was traveling to Paris alone, and Tracy would join him in a few days. Tracy says Alan needs time and is planning a surprise. Well, this guy is full of surprises, isn't he? Jack asked. Sharon bought Nick a scone and Yorkshire tea for free at Crimson Lights, but promised her it wasn't a bribe. It was a clue. Nick wondered if Sharon wanted him to accompany her and Faith to see Noah in Europe. Nick stated that it was never a good time to leave Newman Enterprises. Sharon joked that they have Wi-Fi in Europe. Nick emphasized that Sharon requires time with Noah. He recounted Sharon and Phyllis's kidnapping by a lunatic. Besides, Faith needed her mother. Sharon explained that her children's need for her kept her going. Nick informed Sharon that she had been so strong that she should allow her children to be there for her. She needed time to heal and agreed to keep an eye on things until she returned. Sharon told Nick that he may know her better than she knows herself. It won't be the same without you there, though, Sharon moaned about traveling without Nick. After all I've gone through, it would mean so much to me. Nick asked Sharon to be honest and wondered whether she ever thought about them. You and I? Sharon wondered. Nick admitted that he was occasionally ignorant, but he sensed something. Have I felt lonely at times? Sure, Sharon replied. Do I miss what we had when it was good? Of course. Sharon, in response, inquired whether Nick had ever thought about her again. Of course, I've thought about it, Nick said. But he admitted he knew he had damaged her. She knew she had also hurt him. Sharon stated that she can easily forgive Nick because he has forgiven her for certain things. You are my best friend, Sharon said. Nick stated he liked where he and Sharon were right now. He would always be there for her, no matter what. That was not going to change. Sharon acknowledged to missing Noah and looked forward to spending time with him. Nick shrugged it off, saying that he'd be this helicopter dad complaining about the weather instead. However, he promised to give it some more thinking. Summer also attended Crimson Lights and was glad to run see Nick. She was concerned about Phyllis because the entire kidnapping event had affected her hard. Sharon suggested that Phyllis see a doctor. Summer requested Nick to accompany her to check on Phyllis. Nick told Sharon that he would think about what they had discussed. Sharon asked if there was anything she could do. At the ranch, Adam was instructing his editor to turn a story on Billy's new media firm into an opinion article opposite the editorial page because they didn't have many sources to back up what Adam felt to be accurate. He was astonished when Chelsea emerged. Chelsea took Adam's coat and put on some romantic music. Adam assumed she meant something unpleasant when she said she was there for payback. She also prepared something for him. Chelsea described Adam's lunch for her as one of the nicest she had ever had. Over a bottle of wine, Chelsea assured Adam that it was never too late. Adam reported seeing an 80-year-old couple holding hands. Chelsea speculated that they met when they were young and have lived happily ever after. Adam said that it could have been a couple with issues, but they eventually got it right. Chelsea informed Adam that she is quite comfortable where they are. Chelsea pulled the lids from her and Adam's entrees. "This almost looks too beautiful to eat," Adam commented as he dived into the quiche Lorraine. "Romance requires mystery," Chelsea said after Adam told her she had to tell him how she manufactured this. Adam said this as one of the nicest dinners he had ever had. He stated that Connor was at the main house with Johnny, and they would be gaming all night. Adam inquired as to why it had become more difficult to communicate with Chelsea. "Perhaps we are nervous?" Chelsea asked. "We don't have to be perfect, we can be messy," Adam said Chelsea. Chelsea then unveiled a chocolate cake for Adam. She wanted to try again. She fed him a piece of cake with a fork. "This is the best cake that I have ever had," Adam was saying. Adam proclaimed that the food was fine as she wiped frosting from his face. "Thank you so lot. That's very nice of you," he said. Then he playfully smeared icing over her nose. Adam told Chelsea to follow her instincts. He moved in for a kiss, and Chelsea reacted. The scenario changed to Chelsea's bedroom, where she expressed her desire to create some joyful memories. The Young and the Restless, does Alan fly or run to Paris? Details investigated. Alan continues to be mysterious on The Young and the Restless. Alan is now traveling to Paris, France, first alone, with Tracy following, but is he only buying time to resolve the kidnapping situation? The Young and the Restless, we trust chance. Alan Laurent, portrayed by Christopher Cousins, is playing a risky game on The Young and the Restless. The kidnapping plot, as shown via shots of Sharon and Phyllis, grew tedious to watch, and the dialogue between the two was difficult to follow. Now the real fun begins, and I can't wait to see how it all plays out. I've always appreciated the intrigue and cat-and-mouse game between the detectives and the villain, and this is no exception. With Sharon and Phyllis rescued and recovering with their families, we can now focus on bringing Alan to justice. How long can Alan play stay away with the police? Our best bet is for Tracy to share what she knows with Chance. I'm sure he'll connect the connections, but in the March 19, 2025 episode, Tracy told Jack, Diane, and Kyle about Alan and his plan to surprise Tracy in Paris. This all happened at their favorite venue, the GCAC. Jack was hesitant because Tracy wanted to borrow the private jet, but soon the conversation turned to Alan, who had to flee due to security issues. When Tracy began to elaborate on this, she told of the security breaches and messages, and then mentioned a clinic. Kyle thought it was a coincidence because Summer had mentioned Sharon and Phyllis being held at some clinic. Isn't it just? I was startled at how quickly that thought was disregarded, as was Alan's involvement in it all. Alan needs to cover his tracks quickly, but is this Alan? Or his presumed dead wicked twin brother, Martin, is the perpetrator? Alan's goal could be a study in human nature, or he's as sick of Sharon and Phyllis's hate relationship as we are, and he's just trying to snap them out of it, regardless of legalities. After all, The Young and the Restless is not a true crime television series. I'm hoping for episodes in which Alan/Martin is constantly one step ahead of Chance and the police. We, the viewers, should be on the edge of our seats as Alan eliminates risks to his plan while striving to avoid suspicion and cast doubt elsewhere. But will that include Tracy? And what about their wedding? We might just get it if everyone wishes for some crime drama. The Young and the Restless coupling shuffle, will Schick try it again? Are Billy and Phyllis on again? As with any soap opera, The Young and the Restless has had its fair number of deaths or near deaths that resulted in the character returning to the program. It has also seen numerous couples break up and re-establish their relationship over time. Nick and Sharon are two of the most popular couples we've seen and enjoyed over the years. Another couple who appears to be covertly becoming closer is Billy and Phyllis, whose past is everything from romance novel inspiration. Yay or nay for Schick? They met while they were teens. Sharon and Nick have surmounted numerous obstacles over the years. They have even had several other partnerships. Nick and Sharon finally reconciled before parting ways again. Although Nick is delighted that Sharon has returned safely, he has rebuffed her offer to travel to Europe with their children. Sharon may be reliving former sentiments for Nick and wanting to explore them once more, as she has been loving the simple things in life that she previously took for granted. Nick acknowledged to having this thought but remains hesitant. Although Nick and Sharon clearly have a past worth remembering, something or someone always manages to rip them apart, including affairs, outside children, and even death. Is a spin around the block necessary for Sharon and Nick? Should they let their romance fizzle once and for all? Is a rekindling between Billy and Phyllis in the works? Although Billy is now seeing Sally, his efforts to save Phyllis appear to be more than just a nice gesture, and their chemistry on screen is apparent. The consensus on Billy's current relationship appears to be that fans aren't into it and may even find it dull. Before her captivity, Phyllis was thinking about Billy, and not in a good manner. Their complicated past would make reconciliation less likely, especially since Billy slept with Phyllis's daughter. Their romance also started as an affair while Phyllis was married to Billy's brother, Jack. However, a reunion might still be in the works. Their on-screen chemistry is evident. Phyllis has also been without a romantic interest for some time and may be ready to try again. Is Billy's reluctance motivated by concern for Phyllis's well-being in light of her recent experiences? Or did he believe their bridge had burned long ago? Fans of The Young and the Restless are rooting for super couple Schick to reignite their long-standing romance, and Sharon appears to be on board, but will Nick? Is he apprehensive because of their history? Does he not want to raise their children's hopes in case it doesn't work out again? Is he not attempting to raise his own hopes in case things don't work out again? All things considered, Nick's reluctance is very natural. The Young and the Restless fans are far more interested in Billy being coupled with Phyllis than with Sally. But does Billy really think about Phyllis in the same manner as she thinks of him? Stay tuned to find out. The Young and the Restless look ahead to the week of March 24th to 28th. Next week on The Young and the Restless, Michael receives an unexpected revelation. Billy is caught aback by Phyllis, and Tracy surprises Jack. Here's a glance ahead at the episodes that will air from Monday, March 24th to Friday, March 28th, 2025. What to expect on The Young and the Restless. Tracy Abbott may be madly in love, but she's no fool. Tracy stunned Jack with the news that she was engaged this week, but the light has faded from her face just a few days later. Tracy was already dubious of Alan's reaction to her checking his phone notification, but it didn't take long for her wheels to begin spinning. Next week, Jack is taken aback when Tracy approaches him at Crimson Lights, distraught over Alan. "I'm not sure who he says he is," she shares. Victor had assigned Michael the task of researching the mystery businessman Aristotle Dumas, according to previous history. Since Lily had asked Victor for assistance in conducting a background check on Damien Kane, Victor had some inquiries of his own and began to sniff about. What he discovered was that Damien did not own the companies he claimed, Monte Cristo Investments and Danglars Properties, both of which appeared to be named after significant information from the book The Count of Monte Cristo. Victor's attention was piqued when he discovered that Aristotle Dumas was the true owner of both, but it now seemed that he had some information of his own. Victor meets with Michael at the athletic club the following week, and what he tells him causes Michael to comment, "That makes it sound like you and Dumas have a history I don't know about." Victor confirms that they have. A buddy in need, Phyllis, has been through hell, and Billy knows it. When he helped free her and Sharon from being locked up in the asylum, he had no idea he was saving her life at a critical time. Phyllis has been up a strong face in front of her children, but she is breaking down. Next week, Phyllis and Billy will talk in the park. She doesn't want her children to notice how angry she is, and Billy wants to assist. Phyllis informs him that she has an idea about how he can. On The Young and the Restless, Victor reveals his connection to Aristotle Dumas. On The Young and the Restless, it appears like we are getting closer to figuring out who the mystery man, Aristotle Dumas, is. Today, we received a hint. It's someone Victor knows. Don't count out Aristotle Dumas from The Young and the Restless. The discovery that Nate has a half-brother prompted an investigation into their whereabouts and activities. Nate's mother, Amy, hired a private detective to find Damien. In one discovery after another, the Russian doll-esque puzzle revealed that the guy we thought was Damien was actually Holden. He was a buddy and employee of the real Damien Kane. Damien is only known for managing various firms owned by Aristotle Dumas. Damien's favorite novel as a child was The Count of Monte Cristo, by Alexandre Dumas. This has sparked several fan hypotheses about who this could be. On the March 19, 2025 episode of The Young and the Restless, a teaser of next week's episodes saw Victor Newman telling his lawyer and devoted sidekick Michael that he has a past with Aristotle Dumas, confirming once and for all that the man exists. Fans and watchers were talking about it on the Soap Central message boards. Seriously? Now, does Victor Newman know Dumas? In the preview for next week, Victor tells Michael that he has a history with Aristotle Dumas. Are you serious? Another narrative involving Victor? He is practically involved in each story on the show. I can only hope that this Dumas guy and Jack work together to knock down TGVN. And I thought Michael and Victor were talking about Dumas a few weeks ago, and they said no one has ever seen him, he's like a recluse. Okay, I need a big, fat break from Victor. Board user Lulubell, I honestly couldn't believe my ears hearing that Victor has a past with Aristotle Dumas, a man he's never met or laid eyes on, but they do. Now I truly want to know what kind of history they have. The grimace on Victor's face does not bode well. Dumas may make an appearance after all, given his history with Victor. Victor may be in for the ultimate fight to maintain his firm, especially if Dumas has terrible intentions toward Victor. I sincerely hope they bring this character to life. This revelation, which is not shocking, may disclose the mystery man. I'm not giving up hope that it's Kane, and with so many fan ideas to work with, some of us will be quite shocked. Stay tuned, soap aficionados. After March Madness concludes for another year, we will begin this mystery on Monday, March 24, 2025. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.